So I want to share this story of healing with you. And it's just a reminder that if God has done it before, God can do it again. And that doesn't just pertain to healing, but I want to share this story. So when the COVID pandemic broke out, 2020, we were praying, we were masking up, every precaution, everything that we could do, we were doing. My mother lived several states away from me at this time, and of course, she's doing the same thing. And September of 2020, Labor Day weekend, never forget it. My mom was telling me that she wasn't feeling well, she got sick, and we were like, oh my gosh, we hope she doesn't have COVID. Find out that my mom did have COVID. And so we drove across several states so we could be with her. And some people were like, oh, you got to be careful. You don't want to catch COVID. You can't touch your mom. You can't do this. You can't do that. All these things. And in my head, it didn't even matter. My thing was, I just want to get to my mom. And we saw that, people were in the hospital. They weren't able to be with their family. People were dying. I mean, it was just a horrific time in our history, which we are experiencing something similar now with, fires and hurricanes and things of that nature. And I'm telling you, we are just really earnestly praying. But I want to share this as encouragement. So, they take my mom, she's in the hospital, they release her. They tell her, go home, wait for your results, and then find out a few days later she did have COVID. And so by that time, we arrive, we get to our hotel, and I always take pictures of, the hotels, different places I visit, things like that, because I like to look at them later, who doesn't? And so we visit for a couple more days, and it's time for us to go home. Well, as we were halfway back home, I got a call that said my mom wasn't doing good and she's back in the hospital. And I talked to my mom, and she said they put her in like a dungeon area of the hospital, and pretty much that's where they left, the people who had COVID. They're there to, I don't want to say this, but they're pretty much going to pass away. And so she was there, and I heard the Lord say to me, the way I just delivered your daughter, my daughter, I just had a situation with her. He said, the way I just brought her back is the way I'm going to bring your mom back. She's going to be fine. Go ahead and go home. Now, driving home, I'm crying, I'm in tears. I'm like, I have to trust God, but I'm also, that's my mom, I'm still human. I'm like, I'm asking my husband, do we turn back? And I said, but this is what the Lord told me. And he's like, if this is what the Lord said to you, your mom is going to be fine. So a couple days pass, and we're home, and I'm going through my pictures, and I'm just looking at everything, and like, oh, I got to see my mom, got to hug her, hold her, and in a picture, there's no windows in this room, but on my phone, the phone has movement, and it showed a blue screen fly across, and I just thought, wow. So I looked at it again. I thought maybe I'm tripping. So I had my husband look at it. Then I sent it to my mom. My mom tells me prior to that, she was in the dungeon part of the hospital, but they released her. My mom said that morning she awakened, and she said when she awakened, she hardly could breathe at first, and she asked the Lord, Lord, is this it? And she said, as she said that, she began to pray. And as she began to pray, she said she saw like a blue sheet come in the room and lay on her chest. And she said when that happened, like, she just felt like healing was coming. And from that moment forward, she was healed. And she said when I sent her that picture, she said, how did she see that? So what God did, when I got home, when I looked at those pictures, he showed me what he was going to do. And I don't know how he did it. I just know that God still performs miracles. And my mom is like, that's exactly what came into the room. I saw it fly, this blue film fly, kind of like the size of a Downy sheet, kind of fly through on the picture, and I can still look at it and show that it's going through. And when I showed it to my mom, she said that is exactly what I saw this morning. And so I just want to encourage somebody who is believing God. If God did it before, he can do it again. He may not show up the same way. He may not show up with that, that film that he showed us, but God is going to send confirmation, and God is going to do what he promised you. I don't want you to get discouraged. I don't want you to give up. I want you to hold on to what God said. If God has done it before, he will definitely do it again for you. Be encouraged. God bless you.